Toaster chicken here, man. Who's going to host first?
You're going to do it.
Hello and welcome to Team Fortress TV. My name is Sideshow.
I'm a
little shit.
I didn't win. Oh god. I'm going to be Admirable. I'm co-hosting this with Sideshow, who's recently developed an Irish accent. It's very bewildering. He's lost all of his hair as well. Poor guy. He lost all of his lovely curly locks.
Standing too close to the X-ray machine there, I was. All my hair fell out. Because, you know, Sideshow's a doctor. There's a link there. Okay. We're here for the ETF2L Season 19 powered by TT Esports Premiership Week 4. It's 425 versus La Berrichonne de Châteauroux.
That was an impeccable French accent.
We're going to go for two maps here. It's Snakewater first, but then it's going to be Logjam. And Sideshow, you were giving me the inside track on LBC's preparation for Logjam earlier.
Yeah, I was. I said to LBC just before the game whether they were confident on Logjam, because of course it is a new map for the season and this is the first week it's been played. I think this is its debut in Premiership casting. And LBC said that two of their players, namely Flippy and T-Mac, have never played the map before apart from yesterday, so they're still getting lost on it. So that's always good to see. So if we put the camera on Flippy or T-Mac at any point and they just appear to be walking the wrong way or staring at walls, you guys know why. Apparently Exxon has played some pickups on it but still doesn't know the rollout, and they're hoping just to kind of skill it with the DM.
It's weird, you know, like the map had a lot of hype over the summer and stuff, with all the double mixes getting played, the Logjam Cup. You in particular, I guess, and Ips were really championing it, and then everyone forgot about it for a few weeks, and here we are in week 4, and bam, it's Logjam time. And I know my team hadn't played it all, like, and we had no real schedule available this week, so we just wildcarded rather than go into it unprepared. But these teams are in here and they might be winging it a little bit, but I know 425, I've seen them playing Logjam on several occasions. That's at least twice as many as LBC, so perhaps I'm feeling them. They could take the map there. I voted in the straw poll. I said that 425 would win that one on a golden
you were the
cap.
one person. Yeah, we have got the straw polls live. I reckon they'll be brought up on the stream for your delightful viewing in just a few moments. At the moment, LBC running away with the votes. They're obviously the people's favourites, and mine as well, definitely. I think these guys probably can just skill it with their DM. They are an absolutely phenomenal team made up of the best French and Belgian. No, I don't think anyone on the team is actually Belgian.
So.
Yeah, I think they're all French, actually, from LBC. And they are the best French players, pretty much, that you could put together. eShock as well, another French mixed team. But the creme de la creme of the French team really packed into LBC. And they've been having a really good season so far.
Yeah, I'm going to take liberties here and do a roster rundown, because their roster changes from game to game. They've got such a talented pool of players, but this time it's going to be Flippy and Flip on Scout. Tech is back to play Pocket. Captain Hacks on the bench, T-Mac on Roamer, Bull on Medic, and Exxon on Demo. On the other side, for 425, you got Shadowburn playing Roamer, Xiao, Pocket, Dicker, Medic, GDK, Demo, Kenzie, and Sid on Scout. And we're going to the first middle. Sideshow, take it away.
We really are. I'm going to be watching GDK as he arrives at mid and just trade some stickies with Exxon. They've both hit each other with a single sticky, but the aggression here seems to be coming from Xiaoyu, the Pocket on the top right, and Shadowburn as well, coming in for a big bomb. He's just kind of backing off. He's put so much distraction onto LBC by getting behind them and playing around that health kit. He's given his team so much room to move across the point, and Exxon and Flippy have both been taken down. Now T-Mac goes down as well to GDK, and I'm going to give Shadowburn the credit for that, for a nice little distraction play that stopped LBC getting any movement across the point.
Yeah, it's really smart to do that jump like past them into the Solron there, because a lot of roamers, they're just going to bomb in and try and do as much damage, but once you make it into that doorway and you control that med pack, the only player that can really challenge you is the Pocket or a soldier. You know, the scouts run in there and you're going to take that fight, or you should if you're hitting your shots, but Shadowburn really a thorn in their side there, and now LBC find themselves on the back foot. 425 with the territorial advantage, but it's Uber versus Uber here, so whenever you get onto that last point defense, it's too close to call here. You know, you've got the turtling power of the NG. It's hard for the attackers. You know, defense is so strong in competitive Team Fortress 2.
Yeah, it's interesting to note that Kenzie actually didn't die on the mid, but Shadowburn held the spawn door open for him, and he has gone back and switched to Sniper just to break through this defense coming out from the French team. They have got a sentry up as well, which could cause 425 a bit of trouble if they push in and don't expect it, so they'll have to be scouting it out as well. But while they're making room for Kenzie on Sniper, they might well spot that sentry. Kenzie's just edging over to the shutter door now, and Shayu's going to open it up. He nearly caught a glimpse of X on there, but not quite, and Bull's within his sights as well, who's had to hide inside the spawn door, so it'll be interesting to see whether Bull gets completely separated from the rest of his team and is unable to apply some heals.
It's really tough to play that position as a medic, because a lot of teams will make that play where they open the roller door for their sniper, so you need to stand in the corner against the wall. But then if you're standing against the wall, suddenly you're a lot easier to bomb, because you've only really got one way to surf, like away from the wall, obviously. So I think what Bull's doing is very smart. Sure, he's not healing his team, but he's at least making sure that they don't have to use that Uber, or that he drops it to a headshot. But Tech's just gone down there to a sticky trap of GDK, and that's going to induce the push here. That's the reverse pick, they baited them into it, and Exxon is wrecking faces here. He's forced the multi, and now he's going to continue a little bit, turns around. Kenzie's right above him with the scope though. Does anybody realise? Meanwhile at flank, Sid Vicious and GDK are absolutely taking these French players to task, and slowly but surely the Russians are moving forward. We're getting swarmed by blue players. Tick and Flip FL1P gonna hold on there for dear life. They managed to wipe them in the end, Sideshow.
What a combination play from Flip and Tech. They absolutely carried their team there when all hope was almost lost. They got a brace of frags. I think they managed to pick up 4 of the players from a 425 between them, and yeah, they managed to hold on to that last point when it was whiskers away from being capped. Kenzie's actually stayed on Sniper as well, so Sniper's really viable on this map between any of the points, and he's using it to great effect here. And it'll be interesting to see how the French team decide to counter this. Are they going to run their own counter Sniper? They look like they're just content to trade spam at the moment in Sawmill and just pressure Kenzie away from any areas where he can get a sightline.
Look how many French players bunched up there in the combo. It's like 4 of them standing right in front of the Sawmill. If like Xiaoyu or GDK were to take an Uber in there, they would definitely get a good trade. But the French have sort of seen the error of their ways, so backing off to buff everyone up. And now they're almost baiting the Russians. They're saying, you know, we'll give you enough rope to hang yourself. Come on, take that opportunity. But oh, Sid Vicious is going to take the 1-on-1 with Flippy, getting a little bit sloppy there in the lobby, and now that man advantage is going to allow 425 to just sacrifice one player free of charge, but they've decided to Uber in. Now Shadowburn and Sid Vicious are getting focused by Tech with the great read there, ignores the Uber players, goes, crushes the flank, but he can't finish off Sid Vicious. He combines with GDK, and it's after me singing his praises, it turns out that was perhaps a misstep, as most of the Frenchies go down there, Sideshow.
Yeah, and Kenzie getting 2 nice frags at the end, and we actually see Sid Vicious and GDK already on last. So the French players are valiantly trying to defend their second, because they know that if they go back to last, it's all gone. But Sid and GDK have left the rest of their team high and dry. They thought they'd be able to get the cap on second, and they just didn't manage it. And now Sid and GDK miles out of position, completely overextended. And actually, GDK tries to back out while Sid hides on last. So Sid here might be going for a back cap on second as soon as the French players push, which they should do because they're 3 down. But T-Mac, I think, realises that Sid is behind, and he's just hanging around on this shed waiting for him to come. It'll be interesting to see who wins the 1v1 as Sid now comes in. He's going to be fighting T-Mac. T-Mac doesn't really know where he is, but he has the health pack on his side, and the ×7 stack on mid is going to ensure that the Frenchies pick up mid without falling prey to that back cap. Sneaky Sid, but he doesn't get away with it this time.
Yeah, I think they both took a little bit there, didn't hit their shots, but that favoured T-Mac obviously with the cap coming in on mid. Kenzie with the headshot from lobby picks off Flippy there, Flippy with the option to respawn. Kenzie with another body shot onto Flip, and now he's going to dome T-Mac as well. He's super weak, jumps away, almost careers, picks up the med pack, but this has actually kept this point competitive, and I mean the Russians could push here if they're... Uh-oh, Xiao's gonna get dropped. Big direct rocket from T-Mac is faster than Dicker's right click, and this is a fail Uber, and oh, Sid Vicious is gonna run in for no reason. He's just sacrificed himself to the gods of TF2, and they have not answered his prayers. It's now all on GDK and Dicker on last, but they don't have charge. They're about to face the full force of the French push here. They've got Uber, they've got T-Mac coming in from the flank. There's no options here. The 425 players have to respawn and throw themselves on the point, but it's just a meat grinder there, and LBC are going to take it. First round on the board for France.
And a really good pushback all the way from their last, which really hinged on 425 committing too much to that back cap and then having a really bad Uber trying to defend second there. And the French were able to steamroll that all the way from a really what looked like an optimistic play for 425 to be able to cap the round out. As we're going into our second middle, I'm going to be watching Shadowburn again. He tried to get aggressive but just got caught on the lip of that box, and he's going to be taken down in that kitchen area. So maybe not as much room this time given to 425, and the French are slowly starting to make their way across the point, but they're really not content to throw a body in. Now T-Mac comes in but gets taken down almost instantly, but he's bought his team enough room to move forward. The Russians really reluctant to give up this room though, not playing as passively as the French were, but it has not gone in their favour. They have lost a few frags, and GDK was stuck in there really badly, failed a sticky jump as well, and they are going to be able to pick up the second point as well and possibly roll this all the way forward with the Demoman pick that they have.
Yeah, actually would have been better if they'd all died on middle, because they would have spawned at the same time and been able to hold last year, but GDK died really late into that and he's only just going to spawn now. But as the Ubers fade, it might just be in the nick of time. The French are reluctant to commit to this one as well. They're backing out now. They got their one pick. They've lost Exxon though. They've lost their big damage of their Demo Man, and they're going to sit back and see if 425 want to donate any more frags to their cause. GDK will find tech, and it looks like things will stabilise a little bit here. Both teams without Uber, but it's neck and neck. The heals are available, and Dicker's using them to encourage his team forward. He's cracking the whip. Flippy's hiding up on the pipe on the flank there. He's going to drop down into the lobby. He's thinking of going for the back cap, but Vicious there. He's got help though. T-Max coming in as well. He's just jumped over the head of Shadowburn. He's going for last. It's black box action here, but Shadowburn's going to connect the winning shot. He takes down T-Mac, but meanwhile the fortunes of his team on CP2 have not been good, and now they're just backing off to try and buy time for that Uber charge that can get them the few extra seconds they need for their spawns, but they're just about to get it. It's Kenzie and Dicker Ubered on the point, surrounded by French players, but nothing the French can do to cap this point. They have to just sit back, wait for the Uber to fade and see what happens. But right now GDK's respawned. He's doing his best to fight the damage. Sid Vicious is playing excellent so far this map, and finds an important frag onto Bull there, and that's going to put an end to the French push. Sideshow.
A terrible mistime there from the Frenchies. They pushed in just as both of the teams got the Uber, and then they had to wait for the Ubers to fade before they could really make a play, and that allowed all of the 4-5 spawns to come in. Actually, do we see a conk play? I think Tech has conked on last. Or Shadowburn's conked to defend last from Tech, who tried to backcap there. Interesting use of the conk. I don't know whether he accidentally did that or something, because he wasn't even surrounded by his team.
He does it a lot. He like uses it and he just holds it. You know, when you can, if you just hold down the mouse, you don't actually use it. So it's sort of like an ace up his sleeve there. So he was obviously pretty stacked in that engagement against Tech. And there, I've seen him play this style a lot recently. He's just running the conch and the black box on pretty much every map, and it's really annoying to play against.
Yeah, it's interesting that he holds onto it as well, because of course while he's holding onto it he can't actually do anything, and it might have been that when he was faced with Tech there, he was forced to use his conch rather than switch off it to use it later in a more profitable position. But we do see Flippy, who's actually running sniper now for the French team, so they have decided to use a sniper of their own. Kenzie not running the sniper at the moment, but the Ubers are going to get exchanged just outside Sawmill. The sniper not going to come into this one, and a much better Uber for the French, but I'm not sure they have enough people around them to be able to push into Sawmill and pick up the Russians, and now Tech's just been left high and dry, unable to do anything, and at the same time Exxon's going to get picked up by a flanking Sid. So whilst they did have a better Uber, they just didn't have the players to commit to it, and 425 baited Tech into that really clustered choke area where they were just able to swarm him. T-Mac now coming in for a play onto Dicker, but he's going to get shut down as well. Things not going so well for the French. I missed that play, but actually I hope the camera caught it, because Sid was pressuring Bull. Bull was just dodging around, and then Flippy hit a headshot on the scout. Poor play possibly from Sid, but great dodging from Bull just to survive long enough for his sniper to help him out. What a play there.
Wanted to give Flippy some abuse, because he'd been popping off a lot of shots there without hitting anything, but he hit it when it counted, man. Right now it's advantage here for 425, and they're going to use that. They've got the conch as well of Shadowburn coming in as a backup. He hasn't even used it yet. I mean, he's used it, but he's still holding on to it here, so there's going to be a second wave to this push. But as... Oh, actually, that Uber did not get forced out from the French. They didn't actually have it yet. Now it gets forced out. Shadowburn goes in, but 425 are 2 soldiers down here. They missed a lot of spam power. There's not going to be much they can do.
he managed to pick up the pocket and the demo man there, so he's completely halted that push. I think they're going to be able to defend second here, unless Flippy can get a flank onto Dicker. He should be able to. He's walked right past him. He didn't see him at all. He was on such weak health, and GDK picks him up. Oh, terrible. He's got absolute blinker vision, Flippy. Oh, too used to playing sniper with the FOV 10. He just walked straight past that medic and threw it away with their heals. They were able to pick that up, but now the French actually getting their spawns in time, possibly. I thought it was all over for them, but the spawns do come in, and they're able to pick up 3 frags from 425 and chase them completely out of the point. The lucky spawns there, and 425 just set milliseconds too slow to pick up on it and get the round.
Just do yourself a favour, guys. Bind the key to MP underscore show respawn times and you won't have that problem. Press it for the win. Right now though, Exxon's down, but the Frenchies feel like it's time to push. They do realise now that Dicker has overcharged though. They have been paying attention, so it's sort of a little bit of a bait. They want 425 to come forward and uber aggressively, and they can just kite it all the way back to last, and that seems to be what they're doing right now. There's probably about 3 or 4 seconds left on this overcharge, but Sid Vicious and Chao are making a beeline for that point. They've almost got it capped, but Flippy comes in just from the blind side with T-Mac. T-Mac's the last man on the point now. Now Bull comes to block it. It's all on Flip, Shadowburn and Sid Vicious, and that health coming in from every shot from the black box means that it's going to be real tough for Flippy to do much there. And they've managed to tie the game up.
Shadowburn had a conch, yeah, he had a conch saved just from that last engagement because he did so much damage. He just blasted it like a victory horn. I love that. Absolutely brilliant. They have tied it up 1-1, so we've definitely got a game on our hands. 425 showing that they won't go down without a fight. And again, I'm going to be watching Shadowburn as this time he doesn't fail his rollout, puts a huge rocket onto Exxon and does actually finish him off, whilst also delaying his kill from T-Mac. So that's going to give his team tons of room again. Shadowburn, absolutely my man on middles here, saving it for the Russian team, who should, in theory, be losing these mids just due to DM. LBC not able to do anything on these mids due to that really fast Shadowburn bomb where it gets all the damage onto the key targets and delays them for so long dealing with him.
Yeah,
he's running normal rocket launcher on mids, right?
I think it's the black box everywhere.
Was it? I couldn't really tell on that mid, but I felt like he had a lot of rockets to use. Maybe he's just using them wisely.
He reloaded one, and instead of shooting T-Mac, he put his last rocket into Exxon. But it was interesting that T-Mac is rolling out from the right side. I'm wondering, is that like a direct counter, because Shadowburn keeps trying to do that, but Exxon didn't get the memo. He got caught out that time. Shadowburn didn't survive so long, but he got an important pick on the demo man, and that was exactly what 425 needed to move forward across that point uncontested. They've taken middle, they've taken CP4, and now with Kenzie down, that's probably a sacrifice for him to go sniper. We will likely see some off-class action here.
We've actually got an off-class from the other team. They've lost their sniper, but they've respawned a spy, and actually Sid bumped into him there, but I think he just thought it was that little battlement sign, so Flippy gets out alive. But actually, it seems like he's going back to spawn. I'm not sure what he's doing. Maybe just deciding that he was probably seen on spy due to someone bumping into him, and just recycles back to sniper. Or possibly that's because they called Kenzie on sniper, so he's running the counter snipe. That would make more sense. Kenzie now moving down through Africa to the bottom entrance, where he can just see the tip of Flippy's head. They'll be exchanging some shots whilst keeping fully buffed. Shadowman might get caught out here on the bottom while he fights with Exxon. Exxon getting some nice stickies on him, getting him down to 40 health, but Shadowburn does escape with the comp giving him that 2 HP every second. And now we're just in a little stalemate waiting for one of the snipers to hit their shot.
I'm watching the Kenzie cam right now. He's moving, inching his way forward on the left. He knows there's going to be a soldier up there, tries to get the headshot, but just ends up with a big body shot onto Tick, I believe, is up there. But meanwhile, Flippy is going to catch Sid Vicious around the roller door. GDK does kill off Flippy though, so this is a sniper advantage here. Kenzie is going to be uncontested by another scope. Oh, he sees Bull just cross his vision there, but doesn't choose to take the shot. Didn't react fast enough, and I believe Ubers have been popped off by both teams here. Kenzie's backed off outside, but even though 425 are minus a demo man, they're starting to move forward. Now they realise it's a bad idea. Shayu and Dicker are going to back off, and Dicker's going underneath with Shadowburn as 425 just keep moving backwards, and they've actually beat it. Flippy got a little bit ahead of his team there. Sid Vicious has killed him off. Shadowburn's got the conch, and they're going to go in.
They're all coming in with the conch right now. Lovely air shot from Shadowburn. That was huge from him. Absolutely incredible. And they've managed to kill almost everybody on the French team. Only Flip and a respawning Flippy left alive. And what a great repush with the conch there. That is exactly how it's best used. And what a brilliant play by Shadowburn. Man of the match so far. Let's see if he can keep it up, Admirable.
Oh man, when you've got 3 rockets with that black box, you got to make them count. And Shadowburn, oh my god.
He definitely made them count. At risk of repeating myself, I'm going to be watching Shadowburn again because he's so entertaining on these mids. He's going to be doing the same thing and just get onto Exxon. He's just destroyed him instantly at the beginning of this mid. But meanwhile, Sid has gone down. Some counter aggression coming out from the soldiers, and they've traded so that it's a 4v4 situation. And now LBC are the ones with all the room across the point. They've figured out how to counter Shadowburn, and it's simply by completely ignoring him and just dealing with an Exxon loss at the beginning of mid. And they managed to pick this one up and just now pressuring second. Even without a demo man, they managed to pick that up, Admirable.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably the smart play to make. Just ignore Shadowburn and kill everyone else, because these French players, they're absolutely incredible. If you were to put them in a DM server against the 425 players, I would like to think they would win by a significant margin. I mean, Châteauroux, the pocket of 425, he's probably, well, definitely not as strong as Tech or T-Mac. He's sort of a weak link here, so if you can put pressure onto him on that 425 team, I think you're going to end up with a favourable result. But meanwhile, the Ubers have been traded here, and in fact 425 have conceded a lot of ground. Ubers were traded around Sorum, and it wasn't a good pop for Dicker. He did decide to back out, but a lot of his teammates have not taken heed and they've died, so now they're 3 down here, and it's going to be 2 10-second spawns until GDK and Shadowburn are back on the field. So that means free entry here for the Frenchies. They're coming in already on the left hand side on that attacking perspective. Sid Vicious with the wide switch onto Heavy here, going to buy his team a lot of extra time and a lot of extra health. But Châteauroux is too far forward and gets focused down immediately. It's all on Dicker to block the point here. The spawns are just coming in. Shadowburn jumps onto the point, but Exxon is now raining stickies down there, and he's just hammering all these remaining red players, and LBC will tie the game up once again.
2 amazing pushes from LBC there. I really liked what they did on second. They had Flippy all the way behind in lower lobby, causing havoc, and then they managed to get a much better Uber out where 425 were forced to split all over second point, and they managed to clean people up with some great focus fire from T-Mac and the scouts from LBC, and then a very clinical last push as well. I'm really interested to see what they do to counter Shadowburn this mid. I'm going to be watching the scouts from LBC, Flip and Flippy, as they act a little bit defensively, just expecting a little more aggression from Shadowburn, but Shadowburn's modified it, and now it's the soldiers actually, Tech and T-Mac, pouring out the damage onto 425, absolutely destroying them. They were all incredibly weak for the duration of that mid, and it's only GDK and Kenzie who make it out alive, and they're both on half health or less. So LBC now taking everything forward, but neither team managed to leave that mid with their medic intact. Oh, GDK getting flanked there by Tech. Nice play by Tech, actually. He managed to navigate himself around Cheese where GDK was watching without GDK even having a clue what was happening, and caught him with his pants down. So, as I said, neither team had their medics alive at the end of that mid, so Bull has taken the opportunity to respawn on Crits Creek, and they are going to be pushing into a Sid and Kenzie on Heavy and Sniper, respectively, defense from 425. So that'll be interesting to see whether we can manage to catch a clutch headshot.
425 are actually taking this opportunity to get aggressive, but little do they know they're actually playing into the hands of the Frenchies. They have thought twice about that one and backed out. Kenzie's going to dome eggs on the flank there, and that's the guy who you want to give your Crits Creek to, so they'll have to wait. The Uber charge will come up, but now they have Flippy here, potential for heavy laser beams, but Tech is going to peek in on the left hand side, and once oh, it's a very early crits, they're trying to use it to force, but meanwhile the Russian combos come all the way behind and totally blindsided them and absolutely crushed Bull, Tech and Flippy. They did not see that one coming. Now T-Mac is going in to try and do the best he can, and he has managed to pick off that medic. Dicker's gone down, but it's all on Exxon and FL1P to hold on for dear life here, but nobody realises Flip is behind. He's already killed off GDK, he's on to Shy, 2 shots. Now he's going to isolate Kenzie as well, and that will be big plays coming out from the French scout just to keep his team in it and give them an opportunity to push last here. Exxon's already in, softening them up. It's the Exxon and Flip show here. And it's just Shadowburn peeking onto the point. They're trying to block it, but Flippy comes in as well to help his similarly named teammate, and those scouts, just took that last point single-handedly. Well, we've got to give a little credit to Exxon as well, Sideshow.
Yeah, but the scouts are going huge, especially Flip. Just when it looked so bad for LBC, Flip coming out with a great individual play and picked up 3 just in that messy DM fight. And then combining with Flippy to pick up another 2 on that last push. Great play by him.
Onto this middle, GDK is trying to walk forward a little bit. T-Mac eventually does bomb into him, but Shadowburn delays his jump, then skips onto Bull. Bull on 5 health, starting to regen now, but Shadowburn's in and he's stolen the kit and he's really forced the Frenchies onto the back foot. They do start to move backwards there. Shadowburn kills on Flip, but Tech avenges him, but I mean, the French have forfeited in any position on the point here. Neither team actually has Uber yet. And Sid Vicious is taking a one-on-one with Tech, and I'm not entirely sure what he's thinking there. He probably thought he'd done more damage, but those heals were kicking in from Bull. Kenzie and Dicker cap the point, but they have to back off. They're going to regroup here with GDK, but they will definitely contest it. As long as they take this fight, their spawns come in faster. Sid will be back up in 5 seconds, but Ubers are about to be traded here, and it's Bull who blinks first. He's popped his charge. Dicker's going to milk it for 5 seconds, and now they can move forward here and chase down as many French frags as they see fit. Tech is going to get focused down. Beasted there, Sideshow.
Absolutely destroyed Shayu, not quite famed for his DM, but absolutely schools Tech right then with some really nice directs, and that's both of the soldiers down for LBC, and a really favourable Uber coming out there from 425. The GDK is going to be jumping in, but actually gets hit by an air pipe and then another pipe by Exxon. Exxon raining damage down, but now he's overextended way too far and gets picked up by the scouts of 425, combining together into a fearsome combo. They don't look like they want to be pushing forward here. They do have a huge Uber advantage, 70%.
Flippy's behind as well.
Oh, Flippy's so far behind. That'll be really interesting to see what he does.
There.
He might be spawn camping GDK, or he might try and come all the way behind and...
He's going for GDK.
Oh, but the pocket saw him. Shayu has seen him, and they're going to be calling everybody back to deal with him because he's such a threat, and there's nothing that LBC can do with the distraction that Flippy made because it's so risky to push out from last just on that tiny bit of distraction.
Probably could have played that one out as long as he wanted, but he has died and he will spawn in 5 seconds. But the Uber's already come in. Big air shot onto Shayu, who jumped ahead with that little flash. Does get saved by Dicker from the heavens there. It comes down with invulnerability. And now 425 are trying to play the point, but the rotation has come in from LBC and they are just... Oh, what? I thought they were going to hold it there, but somehow GDK just stands on the point. Shadowburn and he combining... And I thought the Frenchies had it, but no. 425 just took it from under their noses, man.
I think that was really poor play by the French. I really wasn't expecting it, so I wasn't looking at the point, but I think that was exactly the same could be said of all of the French players. They were taking their own little fights all over the last point and weren't concentrating on the point at all. They just didn't expect it, and GDK snuck it out from under their noses. Another huge bombing by Shadowburn, and he's pushed the Frenchies back so far. They've decided to roll out from this choke exit rather than Sawmill, and it's just giving Shadowburn so much room to work with. But Flippy and Exxon combining together to take down the pocket. But now GDK gets some nice frags as he backs out. It's going to make this a 3v3. Oh, but Sid getting isolated is going to put GDK in a really bad position to be taking out Exxon and Tech, and he's just going to get completely focused down. And the only player left alive to run away with the tail between his legs is Dicker. He's going to meet up with the spawning Shadowburn and Kenzie on Sniper. And Shadowburn getting absolutely destroyed. And Roland as he tried to equalize away. That was really nice play by Exxon, but Shadowburn just undeniable, still hitting those rockets from his black box to take out the Demoman from LBC.
We're traded here on green, and this is probably dangerous from Shayu and Dicker. They're trying to continue here, but if they get caught out here and it doesn't go well, they're sort of in no man's land. Shayu's going forward, but Sticker's turned around to heal up GDK. They're getting pressured hard by Flip. Flippy's coming in as well. They're not going to escape this one. They just got shredded. Now Kenzie, hits Tech with the mini crit, then the headshot onto Flip, and Shadowburn's trying to hold down Cheese there all on his own. There's 3 players remaining right now. Kenzie with another headshot onto Exxon. They can contest this point if they want. Shadowburn's going to start spamming black box rockets here. Maybe he's going to get a conch, and he's actually going through Cheese. He will have to lose the point, it seems, but they will definitely contest. These spawns have come in so much faster, Sideshow.
And yeah, but T-Mac there hiding on that bridge and nobody realised he was there and manages to flank and take down Sid. I really thought Kenzie and Shadowburn were going to contest that because Kenzie just keeps hitting headshot after headshot. He's an incredible sniper and he's really making LBC pay for any time they want to peek him. He's absolutely destroying them. And he was so close to picking up the second point there and being able to defend it and actually managed to stop them from rolling all the way to last, in my opinion. So now things have kind of equalised a little bit more. We've got... What's up? What's up, Admirable? What have you spotted?
Exxon's gone down. No demo man here, so if 425 are feeling a little adventurous, they could start to push out. There are 3 minutes and 45 seconds left on the clock. It is 3-3 here in this first map of this ETF2L Season 19 powered by TT Sports Premiership Week 4 fixture. It's anybody's game. Flippy is sitting underneath trying to pop off a shot there. Tags a little body shot onto somebody, but he's really looking for that entry frag here. Exxon is back on the field. Crisis averted, Sideshow.
It's all good now. They're just waiting for either of the snipers to get a decent pick that they can push off. When they were in this situation before, it was GDK who kept overextending and eventually got picked off. So I'm going to be watching him with eagle eyes to make sure he doesn't, but this time it's actually Exxon doing the same, and if he's not very careful he's going to slip down, open that shutter door and get blasted away by the stickies from 425. So Flippy hitting a headshot onto Shayu there, but he's not able to finish it off as Shayu backs off to his heels. A tech's been picked up on the other side though by Shadowburn. I think he just got juggled into that little corner and does get taken down.
They were coming in for like a double soldier bomb, but Shadowburn just totally denied he and T-Mac. Concha is coming in here and Bull's thinking of going for the wrap around here, but they've already lost 3. Tech's just respawned. There's 3 in here on last and Dicker still has that charge available to him. He could probably hold it indefinitely, but he does choose to pop here. They're capping 2 at the same time. The back cap is in effect and they've cleaned up most of the invaders on last there. T-Mac will scurry off towards Cheese there, but now he's going to get sandwiched by Sid, Vicious and Shadowburn, who jumps ahead. Tech is hiding here on the barrels if anyone comes up slopes such as the 425 combo. They could get caught, but Shadowburn sees him, he's forcing him back, and that play has been denied just by the ability of Shadowburn to look left. Zoolander wouldn't be in it, man.
And now 425 streaming across the point, forcing LBC out of this. They do have a 50% advantage, but the Ubers are nowhere near being coming into play yet. So LBC not content to give this up without a fight. T-Mac and Tech combining to take down Sid, and they've managed to pressure 425 out of the point despite this being 4v4. It looks like GDK really wants to build this Uber up and get back into them though. Dicker on 99%, but he does get taken down on 99%. GDK was trying to build in order for him to get it, but it just wasn't enough, and they rushed that. They weren't able to get their Uber off, but they have managed to cap the point. But I can imagine now that Flip and Flippy are going to be coming in. Oh no, Flippy's miles away, sorry. What am I talking about? 425 are going to be able to secure this point and force all of the LBC players out of there. So they managed to pick that up just purely on DM after their med went down. Nice play by 425, but they just rushed it a little. They could have had it a little better.
Oh, Dicker isn't going to settle for a draw here. He does not want a golden cap. He's whipped out the crit spree, and he is going to give his team the best chance possible. At the point they push, they will have that crits before Bull has his Uber charge. And if the Frenchies don't see this one coming, it could be trouble. I mean, they're probably happy to settle for the golden cap at this stage with only 40 seconds left in the clock. There's not much they can do to push all the way across the map. So hopefully they'll take up a defensive position, but there could be some magic stickies coming out here from the crits machine, GDK.
Yeah, they should have anticipated this. It was the perfect opportunity to go crits, and GDK's moving across grass now. The crits is popped, and he's going to fire it in. He's going to take down T-Mac and Flippy. And it looks like Tech's going to get pressured as well. The point does go down very quickly, and they're going to be wanting to roll this all the way into last. But Bull does have his Uber on last, and he's surrounded by his Pocket and Demoman with Flip on Scout as well, but not quite in the engagement. And they're just going to ruin 425 as they desperately try and push in with only a few seconds left. Bull is going to be able to hold on to his Uber, and they put all their eggs in one basket there, relying on GDK to hit a glory sticky instead of going for the Uber, but I don't think it would have come in anyway had they switched to Uber. It was just unfortunate that LBC and Bull in particular positioned himself in a great place where he wasn't able to get caught out by the crit stickies of GDK. And this end score, Admirable, 3-3. We will be going to a golden cap on Snakewater. I really didn't predict this. I didn't think 425 were going to have it in them to take LBC to a golden cap. I know Ips is going to be in chat now, rubbing his little hands with glee, as are the rest of BK, who are the other challengers for the top position this season. They are going to be loving the fact that 425 have just taken at least 1 point, possibly 2 from LBC, due to, in my opinion, some really great conch pushes and some really nice wraparound players generally having better teamwork, in my opinion, than LBC. They just seem to be able to coordinate with each other a lot better.
Yeah, that's always been 425's strength. I mean, it's sort of unusual to imagine a Russian team with such composure, but they have it in spades. And we will bring the logs up here before we go to the golden cap. I just want to confirm that in the straw poll, I was the guy who voted for a golden cap victory for LBC on this map, but a golden cap for 425 on the next. You know,
you're a psychic. You're a psychic.
Looking at the logs, so top damage is going to be GDK putting out 380, not far behind him. Eggs on 359, DPM Tech on 315, so there's the 300 club. We've gone live though, I believe, so let's not talk about these logs anymore, Sideshow.
Oh, we have gone live. 425 are going to have all of the momentum going into this golden cap, I think. Even though they failed that last push, they were the underdogs coming into this, and they're going to feel like they've got it. I'm going to be watching Shadowburn on this mid to see what he can pull out of the bag. He's going to be on that top left-hand side from his perspective, but not going for any fancy bombs. Just content to play a little more passive. Now he goes for the jump. He's going to be getting onto Bool and X on everybody from LBC watching him, but that's given 425 a lot of room to move across the point, and LBC are going to have to work hard to isolate some players and get some picks. T-Mac and Flippy both kind of sandwiched into the opposite kitchen, but by dealing with them in the kitchen, 425 have given up their position on point and let LBC back into it. It's 4v4 and the Ubers are going to come into it on this last push, but Sid drops out of the range of his heals and does get picked up, and I don't think that Dick is going to want to commit to this and have an Uber fight, because it's just going to be disadvantageous for them, and LBC are going to pick up the middle, but it was a very long drawn out middle.
Yeah, I think that was a really smart play from LBC. Like, T-Mac didn't go and try and trade or anything. He just went into the kitchen and controlled that. But their whole plan was just to sit back and wait and see what Shadowburn does and deal with him first. Because, like, you've seen how the rest of 425 play a middle. They all just sit back and see if Shadowburn tells them to come forward, if he does enough damage or draws their eyes. But it seemed to be like quite disjointed there. They just killed Shadowburn and then they were able to move forward. It was close for a few seconds, like a 4-on-4, but LBC with the finally sort of learning their lesson from all those middles we've seen so far.
425 are playing so passively at the moment. They don't have a sniper of their own, and they're really scared of losing someone to Flippy. They've basically given CP2 up just because Flippy was running the sniper, and they didn't feel confident holding a forward position when he could peek and kill somebody. So they've completely given up the second point here, and now they're going to be building a sentry on last and have a sniper of their own to deal with Flippy, hopefully. And they're just going to wait for an Uber v Uber exchange here. They really don't feel confident, apparently, with dealing with this.
Shadowburn's been tagged there by Flippy, and he's still hiding there. Oh, Flippy is going to counter-snipe onto Kenzie, and Shadowburn is still weak there. He's on the floor. He is liable to get picked off, but he has used the cunt, and he's not going to hold it. He's popped it up immediately. He's trying to get his own health back up here. He's forced out the Uber charge. Dicker is holding his, but now decides to pop to save GDK. He's getting pressured by Exxon, who seems to single-handedly force that charge and keep his team in it, because there's still 14 seconds before 3 players from 425 are going to spawn. Big ask here of Kenzie and GDK, and it looks like LBC might just take it in one straight round there. They took middle, they took 4, and now they've taken last.
Yeah, the positioning was all wrong from 425 in my opinion. Shadowburn holding pretty far forward, gets a force out. That's not bad. He sacrifices his own life for it, but that's not a bad play from him. The problem is that everybody else apart from GDK got dropped by Dicker because of his and GDK's positioning was so passive, right back almost behind the point near the spawn door, and they just let LBC in so far with their Uber, and they managed to pick up 3 frags of the 425 players and completely destroy them before the Uber could even come out from 425. Dicker milking it for far too long in my opinion with such a passive hold, and just drops all the rest of his team and no hope of holding after that.
Well, you blame Dicker and GDK. I blame the rest of the team for not being back where they were. Like that spot they're holding is ideal. Like because it means there's such a distance for the Uber to cover. Like they can just kite it back there and then try and clean them up. But these idiots on their team are running into all these Ubered players, thinking, "Yeah, we're going to kill these guys." When clearly that's not Dicker's plan at all. But at least I'm going to agree with you that there was some sort of breakdown in communication there. But as a medic, I have to agree with what Dicker did or where he was standing. Like, you don't want to run over there and Uber in some strange place. Just sit back and use that defender's advantage. Abuse it, man. Stay close to the spawns. Stay close to the point. That's my 2 cents anyway, Sideshow. Do you want to go back and look at those logs from the main round and try and analyze the performances? Because that golden cap was so quickly, I don't think it's even worth looking at.
Yeah, definitely. We'll have a look at the logs. We see GDK topping the damage, going 28 for 17 as well, topping the kills, topping the damage, really having a phenomenal game. And Shadowburn, whilst he did have a great game, not particularly good stats, but I would personally say that he was my man of the main match. And Tech having a blinder of a game as well, going 26 for 15 with 10k damage.
And yeah, looking at the team stats as well, it's only 5 frags in it. LBC top of that, and they've got about 100 more damage as well. So super close overall. But Dicker actually had 2 extra charges, maybe partly to do with the crits Craig there, and LBC had 1 mid more. But you know, you can hardly separate these two teams, and it did come down to that 1 golden cap play. Well played to LBC for taking that first map, Snakewater. But now it's time to go to Logjam. If you've just